Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And as we kind of get into GCI Turf Pro, you're going to start seeing a lot more pro style equipment and mixing things and nurse tank things and all kind of different setups that we use around here. And as part of getting into the pro side of things, I've become a dealer, distributor, OEM with a lot of these companies, so that not only I can show you how to use the equipment, but also offer it to you for you to purchase. So as far as spray equipment goes, bare bones necessity to start a spray company, you need something to spray with, right? And of course, if you don't have money to buy a big skid sprayer like this, which actually this is a small skid sprayer, it's only 200 gallons. We got battery powered backpack sprayers on the website. I got a nozzle kit, call it a Nozzle Buddy, and it's basically anything and everything you need. You could actually get started spraying yards with a battery powered backpack and my nozzle kit. That's really all you need, to be honest with you. But if you want to do any type of volume, meaning if you want to do a lot of yards in a week or in a day, a month, a year, you're going to want to be more efficient than just using a backpack sprayer. That is where I come into play. I am a spray nerd. I am an absolute nut when it comes to the spray equipment, the pumps, the motors, the agitation, the mixing, the adductors, all that kind of thing. I have just studied it and drooled over it for the past 18 years. Don't know why. It's just something I like. I like the pumps. I like the flow of water. I like pressure and volume and all that kind of thing. I get nerdy with it. I like it a lot. So with that said, I have tried them all. I've done it all. You could pretty much name something to do with spraying or how to mix or how to nurse tank or any of that kind of thing. And the chances of me having done it is very, very good. And inside all of that experience, you will find failure. And yes, I have screwed up many times. I've spent money that I shouldn't have spent because I tried this, it didn't work, and I tried this, it didn't work, that money's gone, and this money's gone. Finally found something that actually works. And the benefit of all this to you is you don't have to go through all the failure. I'm going to help you not fail when it comes to the equipment side of spray. So with that said, I'm putting a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy into this, quite a bit. So if I show you something in a video and you're interested in it, yes, you have the option to shop around, but I also want you to be aware of the time and energy I'm putting into all this to help you. So I'm simply asking you honor the source. One thing that's going to set me apart from you just going to another website, buying something, they ship it to you, and you have to figure it out. Well, I'm going to teach you every single last detail. What I mean is, let's just say you purchase a skid sprayer from me. This comes with 20 years of experience, 20 years of failure, 20 years of being extremely successful. You're going to get all that on top of the skid sprayer. 5 years from now, if something goes wrong and it's just the sprayer's not working, it's not calibrating right or whatever, I'm still here. As long as I'm alive and I'm still running GCI Turf and all this is still working and functioning and the website's still up and going, if it's 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, it doesn't matter to me. I will still be there every single step of the way. You can simply send me an email. I'll help you get through the problem and get you back rolling. So there's so much more to it than just, Pete's going to sell you a sprayer and send you on about your way. Well, any of you that know me personally, that's just simply not how I roll. I want your business to thrive. I want your business to be extremely successful. I want you to make as much money as you can possibly make in every single work week so that you can take that home to your family. You can provide your family an exceptional life and you could have some things in life that maybe you couldn't have before. That's just me. I want you to kill it. Okay? So let's talk about skid sprayers. Skid sprayer versus ride-on sprayer. Okay, ride-on sprayers come in all different kind of shapes and sizes. So do skid sprayers. Over here on our spray trucks, I have custom setups that I have actually built with these two hands according to the way I want them, so they fit within how we do lawn applications, how our routes are set up, all different kind of variables in that. So I built the sprayers on a flatbed Isuzu truck so that they meet my needs specifically. Now, you may not be that detailed yet with your company. Maybe you just need the bare bones basics. That's what this thing is. This is a 200-gallon Space Saver skid sprayer. And basically, you can see the shape of it. It slides right up in the bed of a pickup truck. This is 200 gallons. I've got a 300-gallon sitting over there. And typically for this pickup truck, we would take the 300-gallon, slide it up front, take the 200-gallon, slide it right behind it. That way I've got the opportunity to spray 500 gallons of the same mix. Or, let's just say you got a tree and shrub business or whatever. You can do tree and shrub out of one, you can do lawn care out of the other one. Or, let's just say you split your fungicide routes and your main fertilization program. You can have your fertilization program in the front tank, your fungicide mix in the back, because you want to. We'll get into all of that in GCI Turf Pro. That's going to be coming really soon. Working real hard on that. Back to skid sprayer or ride-on. Okay, here's my personal opinion. You'll get different opinions all across the board, and that's fine. Everybody has their own opinion, to each their own. I'm not going to dare knock anybody for thinking differently than me, but my personal opinion is, if you get into spraying yards, you want to start a business, you start with a skid sprayer. Knowing what I know now, I would not buy a machine before I bought a skid sprayer. Personally, 18 years ago, I bought a skid sprayer first. It's sitting right over there in the corner. It's a 200-gallon tank setup that's similar to this. It's not a Space Saver. It's just a regular skid sprayer. But that thing's old as the hills. I kind of got it over there tucked out of the way. It's a little sentimental value to it. But I would go skid sprayer. And really the reasoning behind that is very simple. Okay, a machine, let's take the Turfware for example. Talking about Turfware, it's a big deal for me. I'm very, very proud to say this and announce this. I'm actually an official dealer for Turfware. So, along with the skid sprayers and some other things we got coming for the pro guys, you can also find a page on the website about Turfware, how to get in contact with me directly, and if you're interested in a Turfware, I can get you a price on a machine. And on top of that, the spray boom you've seen me use with my Turfware, all that's kind of coming and working itself out and getting in place. And I'd say in the next couple of weeks, everything should be finalized. And everything we're going to do should be on the website as far as the pro guys go. So why do I think that it would be more important to start off spraying with a skid sprayer? It's simple. You got a machine, whether it be Turfware, Z-Spray, or Steel Green, or Permagreen, or any of the other brands. A lot of those now are designed to work very simple. Okay, there's not a lot to them. Some of them have a lot of buttons on them, a lot of different variables, a lot of things going on, different switches that do this and do that, and so forth. Plus, on top of that, you're actually on the machine riding across a yard, which the terrain may be not the greatest. It may be bumpy and uneven and hilly and all kind of things. So you have a lot of different variables going on just to get the right application done, if that makes sense. Versus when you're using a skid sprayer, there's one variable. You're the variable, okay? All this is consistent. And this part right here is the only part you have to worry about, okay? So that's kind of my take on it. And again, some Some folks may think different. You may not want to walk yards, okay? And if you don't, that's fine. It's your business. You do it how you want to do it. But in my opinion, you're going to learn the fine details, the little nuances, and the little quirks and things that go along with spraying yards much better with a skid sprayer versus using a machine to do it. So at the end of the day, it's just, again, in my opinion, it's easier to get the feel. It's easier to understand all the little fine details of spraying. It's easier to understand the fine details of calibration, telling your sprayer what to do in the yard. And if you train your body to do all that, as far as your walking speed and all that, and then you can progress. Okay, I'm not saying spray with a skid sprayer the rest of your life. You can progress to a rider. It's just my opinion that it's easier to start off and learn the craft with a skid sprayer and actually physically walking the yards. So I think it's probably obvious I don't manufacture these things. Someone manufactures them for me and I resell them. But I have set the sprayers up exactly identical the way we use them. And I just want to kind of go over that. Honda GX 160, you can't beat a Honda in any way, shape, or form. They're the best out there in my opinion. Electric start and recoil start. This right here will probably be another personal preference. I started off with the Udor Kappa 43 gear reductions and I'm still using them. And I can't get away from them. I like this particular pump better than any pump on the market. So when we were putting this package together, it just made sense to go with the Udor. Pressure regulator valve right here. Of course, this hose right here goes to your spray reel. This hose on the other side goes to your agitation, and here's your return. And then it's got a filter over here mounted where you can get to it pretty easily. This particular hose reel right here is the hose reel that the manufacturer makes in-house. It's a solid hose reel, nothing wrong with it. I personally prefer the Hannay reels. I have multiple Hannay. If I had to count real quick, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got about 14, maybe 15 Hannay reels around here. Everything from small ones up to really large ones that'll house an 1.5 inch hose. And I just use Hannay my entire career. I absolutely love them. And so if you decide you want to go down this road and get a skid sprayer from me, the skid sprayer you get will have a Hannay reel on it. At the time when I bought this from them, I wanted to just try a different hose reel and learn real quick that I like my Hannays better. I chose to set it up just like the sprayers that we have as far as the hose reel goes. And this is 400 foot of 3/8 inch hose. Yes, you can run 1/2 inch and get more volume, more flow, but I found that the 1/2 inch hose is just really, really heavy, and I don't really like that. Plus, you can't get but about 300 foot of 1/2 inch hose on the same size hose reel, whereas you can get 400 foot of 3/8 so that you can reach further distances and you don't have to move your truck as often. So it's 3/8 inch hose, 400 foot. The only quirk I have about this one that I personally don't like is the button is on the left, whereas the Hannay, you can put the button on the right, and I just prefer that when I'm winding up my hose. The Hannay also has the option where you can mount the button on the left. If you're right or left-handed, depending on where you want the button, it'll come on one side or the other. So if you want to swap it over to the other side, it's basic, simple wiring. You unscrew a couple wires, move the button over, put the wires back on. It's that simple. We'll come with a Lesco Chemlon gun, the green gun, yellow nozzle, which is 2 gallons, and the nozzle itself is going to come separate. All this comes together, one package built, ready to go. The nozzle, the manufacturer don't actually have these nozzles. I have them. So that would be shipped to you separately in a small package. Now talk about the ways it comes. There's two different ways this thing comes. One is just like you see it. And you would be responsible to run wire, power wire and ground wire to the battery of your truck. Or, you might want to ground it to the frame here, into the frame of your truck or something along those lines. And then you'd have to get the power to it so that this is an electric hose reel. The hand aid that will come on yours is also electric. So you hit a button and it winds up by itself. And you also need power to the Honda over there for the electric start. So this one came unwired, meaning when we put a space saver in the bed of the pickup truck, we run a power wire to the battery and do the wiring ourselves. If you are not electrically putting things together, electrically gifted, and you don't want the hassle with that, the second option is this thing will come with a battery tray and it will be pre-wired. Everything's wired up and have a battery there, so the thing's ready to slide in the back of your truck. It's ready to go 100%. You won't have to do any wiring yourself. Obviously you want to keep your battery on a triple charger or something like that to keep your battery charged up overnight. Option number two, it comes and it's ready to go. The hose reel will work, electric starter will work, all that works. Or like I said, option one, you have to wire the thing yourself, in which that's incredibly simple. If you just have the slightest bit of basic wiring skills, it's a positive and a ground, not much to it. So what I want to do is bring you in here close and show you what kind of agitation and what kind of return system and all is on it. Again, when you're spraying liquids throughout the day, agitation is very important. You want to keep your material stirred up and keep it suspended in solution. You don't want a lot of things dropping out to the bottom, because that means that if your stuff falls out of solution, the stuff in the top you spray on the yard isn't as potent or isn't as loaded with whatever's in the tank. It's all in the bottom of the tank. So you want this stirred up constantly throughout the day. So the agitation on how that was set up and how it works here is very important to me. And I'll get up here and I'll show you that. Now, since I don't actually have this one wired to the truck and all, I'm just going to use the recoil start on it, fire it up. We'll stick the camera over in the lid opening right here, and you can see the agitation working. So before I fire it up, I want to make sure you can hear me, but you can see this return line right here comes out of the bottom of the regulator. That is when your pump builds up excess pressure, okay? Meaning you're spraying out of your gun and there's extra pressure left over, or when you take your hand off the gun, you stop spraying, it's going to dump it back in the top of the tank. So you'll see that working in a minute. And then there is your agitation setup. You can see right here along that's your agitation fitting right there, and that's going to really stir this thing up really, really good. And then the fitting, the elbow and the fitting below that is actually the suction, where it actually pulls it into the filter. It's filtered, then before it goes into the pump, and then obviously onto your spray reel. So you can see the thing's got exceptional agitation, and again, it's only 200 gallons, so it's not mixing up that much. So now you can spray it a gallon per 1,000 pretty easily with this. So with a 200-gallon tank, you could cover 200,000 square feet. Now, I personally like 2 gallons per 1,000 for my calibration rates. That means you can cover 100,000 square feet. And if you're spraying 2 gallons per 1,000, and let's just say you happen to live in an area where you do nothing but 5,000 square foot yards, that's 20 yards you can spray, and you could easily do that in a day without having to go back and refill. Also got a walking spray boom. Okay, that will absolutely work with this as well. With a skid sprayer, the walking spray boom is basically going to be a spray boom with wheels on it, handle, and you plug your spray hose right to the end, and you will actually have something similar to, I know you've seen my Toro Multi Pro. It'll be that, but in a condensed version. We're also going to be able to hook up your FlowZone backpack sprayer to the walking spray boom. The CAD drawings are being made up on all that kind of thing. We're kind of getting the ball rolled on that. So I've got a ton of spray equipment coming, a lot of which we're going to be manufacturing and making and assembling right here in our shop in North Carolina. And so I am just super excited. That was part of taking the handcuffs off. You heard me say in a video not too long ago that I feel like I've had handcuffs on. And what those handcuffs were my fear. That is what kept me handcuffed, was my own personal fear of failure. Okay? And I had to remind myself that I am a child of the living God. I belong to Jesus Christ, and if I do things in His glory and for Him, to honor Him, He's going to bless it. And I just said, you know what, Lord? I'm going to go for this. I'm going to take these handcuffs off. I'm going to jump in full force, full blast, actually do some of the things I've wanted to do for years. That was actually make GCI turf spray equipment. That's why you're kind of seeing me offer, skid sprayers and turf wearers. And then again, it's going to be a lot of things that we actually make here that are extremely unique to the business. What I mean by that is you have full-blown commercial spray equipment here. You got battery-powered backpack sprayers here for DIY. So you've got a big gap in between those. But what I'm going to do is I am going to marry them, and I'm going to bring the commercial grade lawn care equipment to the homeowner so that you can experience the same way of spraying that I've experienced for years. Not only would that be for the homeowner, it's actually going to be for the small lawn care operator, the one-man show, that maybe he don't have the budget to buy $6,000 skid sprayer, but he could spend $1,500 on something that functions like this, but isn't this, okay? So all that stuff is in the works. The CADs are being drawn. The prototypes are being made. I am absolutely pumped to show you this stuff. It is game-changing stuff for the homeowner and for the small lawn care business. I am just so excited. I mean, I want to tell you every single thing, but you know how I roll. I can't do that right now. I like to wait, get it done, then show it to you and say, look at this thing right here. Is it not awesome? So that's coming. Be ready for it. So as far as the volume goes, which you get out of this thing, I haven't even calibrated it yet. But we're going to fire it up, run some water through the spray gun. And yeah, all this is water. I don't have my spray gloves on. I'm going to give you a visual of what this looks like at the volume that actually comes out, so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like to spray. Now I just kind of threw it up in the bed of the truck to kind of give you a visual of what the thing looks like. If it's empty and no water in it, yeah, you could probably get a couple of good strong guys and pick it up, one on each side, maybe 3 or 4 guys. But if you want to be safe about it, use a tow motor, stick it up in here. And obviously, this thing is going to slide all the way against the cab. Okay, it's not going to ride back here on the back. I'm just leaving it back in the back because I don't have anyone to help me slide it back off to unload it. I'm actually getting ready to go out here on the front yard and make the training video of this. What that is, that's another thing that you get if you decide to buy this stuff from me, is I'm going to train you personally on how to set it up, how to calibrate it, how to actually go onto a yard and actually make the spray application and do it the correct way. There's a very specific way that you make an application using the spray gun that's in your hand. like I said, that along with the calibration part, going through the thing in detail. I'm getting ready to make the training video. So if you decide to buy this thing from me, in your email confirmation, you'll have a link to a private video, and I will teach you how to use this thing in detail, every single thing about it, so that you don't have to guess. A lot of places that sell sprayers, you buy it and then you have to figure it out. Well, I've already done that, and I want to show you the easiest, most simple way. It's the same thing with any spray equipment I offer on my website. I want to personally teach you how to do that through a video. Now, if you're local to me and you buy one of these things and we ship it here to my shop and you come over here and pick it up, whether it be a turf wear or a skid sprayer, I will take the time out of my day and I will physically, one-on-one, I'll teach you how to use it. Whether it be the turf wear or a sprayer or some of these other things that we have coming, as they start to come on the website and you start to see them and you start to see videos. If you're local to me and you buy it, I'll personally teach you how to use it right here at our shop. Obviously, if you're not local to me, you can watch the video that comes along with the product purchase. So I'm gonna go out here and start filming for the training video on this. I hope you've learned a few things. I hope you're just as excited as I am about GCI Turf Pro. I'm thankful to get those handcuffs off. I feel like I'm a little more free now. I'm a little more in my element. DIY folks, I love you. You are my bread and butter, okay? That's where I started at online, was showing the homeowner how to use professional grade products, pro grade equipment, you know, like the nozzles and the battery powered sprayers and all that. I'm not gonna dare leave you guys behind, okay? You are my bread and butter. You are the ones who actually put me on the map. But in order for me to fulfill some of my personal goals, and those goals are to help the business owner be profitable, make an incredibly good living so that they can provide for their family. Small business rules. Small business rocks in my book, in the United States of America. Small business is what keeps this country on its toes. It keeps this country rocking and rolling. And I am a major supporter of small business. So I want to take what I've learned over the past 20 years, feed it to you business owners, so that you don't waste your money, you don't waste your time. No, I'm not saying my way is the perfect way or the only way, okay? There's a lot of different ways to run a business, but over the past 20 years, I've failed and succeeded so many times that I've figured this out, okay? I know how to run a company. I know how to make money in a company, and I want to share that with you. So, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.